Welcome to today's Operation Greatness, freeing the matrix, parasite cleansed, focused wealth immersion action pod number 64. Today we are elaborating upon the 3 steps to winning the game of life. When you are ready to go the distance, let's go. First of all, let's stretch your mind right now. What do you imagine or envision or intuit or know what the 3 steps to winning the game of life are? I invite you to pause and reflect on that and share your thoughts in the comments here, because maybe your steps are meant for you based on what you need right now to succeed, to enjoy the full spectrum of success that is destined to be yours. So I invite you to receive what are the 3 actions most important for you to take right now, because it's not like success or the fulfillment of our desires and dreams are somewhere out there in the distance. No, they're right here. And it's kind of like you picture yourself on this path and you can see over the horizon. I hope it's closer than that to you, and it's maybe, like a few miles away. You can see this sanctuary or the Mecca, the place where you are heading, like the golden temple, the golden city of your fulfillment, and you can see it, and you're keeping your eyes on that vision, and you're walking every day and keeping your focus locked into that vision. And every move you're making, every action you're taking, every thought you are giving your attention, which is where you're giving your power, is leading you there that much closer. And you're on track, and everything showing up in your life is a result of where you are keeping your focus fixed on that result. And so everything is happening for you to serve you and support you in living that fulfillment, right? So I mean, like, I'm guessing that for most people, the dumbing device is the big obstruction in their lives. In other words, like they go on to the social media platform and they start scrolling, and then 2 hours later, they're like, oh, I forgot to do all this stuff that I had to do. And now I'm kind of hungry or tired. And in other words, they're just diluting their power because the dumbing device is the biggest agent right now of distraction, division, disconnection, disempowerment, despair, depression, discombobulation. I mean, how often had, before you took this seriously, the 3 steps to winning the game of life, had you gotten lost and allowed outside influences, shall we say, to put it mildly, to take you out of the game? I mean, there's a very important question for you to really answer to yourself, to really be clear about where you are giving your attention, because that's where you're giving your power, and that's how you are creating your life and how we are creating our world. So nothing matters more than that, staying in the game. And what does that mean to be in the game? That means you're seeing all of the threats, you're looking around to see where the greatest opportunities are, and you're keeping your focus on your purpose, which is winning the game, right? So, what is that game for you? I mean, the game of life is the game, and yet what is the specific application of that for you? So that's actually step one, is knowing where you're going, knowing what your end result is, keeping that vision unwaveringly in your mind, like I'm saying, like to keep the target. I mean, actually, instead of walking down the path, I mean, that's a good visual. We can all relate to that. And yet, what if you are like a cruise missile and you have that target locked in there, and there's nothing that can interfere, like no one can access the missile that you are, and like hack into it and like change your direction. No, the target is locked and loaded, and you're blocking anything from obstructing that or interfering with that in any way because you've made up your mind. You've made the decision. I'm going the distance here. Nothing is going to stand in my way or stop me or limit me from hitting my target. And then everything in your life is focused and narrowly focused on that fulfillment. That's step one, is knowing where you're going and making the decision. I'm going to achieve this and I'm going the distance. I'm going all in here. So, what is that target for you? What is that target that you have locked and loaded in the missile, which once it's launched, there's nothing that can interfere with it reaching its target very quickly, right? And you're still course correcting, you're still seeing the environment and responding to that. I mean, like, they say like a plane flying from Los Angeles to New York. I don't know if this is accurate, but the principle is what I want us to recognize. I think they say that it's off target like 97% of the time or 99.5, I forgot the exact number. And it's just a little off target because of winds or pressure, drops or whatever. And then the sensors pick up these shifts like, oh, we're not on the optimal straight line path anymore. So then I have to turn left and go a half a degree to the left. And then, oh, now it's like, then it's just constant course correction. So you're always watching the environment because that's giving you feedback on how well you're doing, right? So where are you on this path right now? Because you are already traversing that path. You're already in flight, in motion. You built tremendous momentum behind your creating and living your desire, which is locked and loaded now. And maybe you were kind of like, I hike every day, and a lot of times I'll see dogs out there, and they're kind of like, oh, what's over here? What's over here? Oh, over here. And then they're going back and forth like zigzagging, and that's not the straight line efficient path that you are on yourself because you're not allowing anything to distract you, take you out of your focus, out of the game. Right, 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 right. Or see where you were diverted, distracted, disconnected, and remove those disconnections because this is your power is sacred because you are sacred and what you are creating is your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. You're living that, and that is the game you are playing. That's like the focus of your life. That's why you are here. That's your contribution to the world, how you are being of greater service to more people, and that means everything to you. So treat that as sacred as well. So the other aspect of step one that I want you to really recognize is that you deserve to have this fulfillment. That is your desire. That is the target that you have locked and loaded into the missile before you launched it. And if you were kind of scattered and moving around aimlessly, well, okay, that's fine. Then breathe back into being, come back into your center, and really determine what your target is and what's the next step to getting there? And then you will be guided and led. And that leads us into step two, which is connecting with prana. That's a Sanskrit word. It's very metaphysical and very, very powerful. You can think of it as like what's vital life force. And you could think of that as like the force in Star Wars, or you can think of it as the Holy Spirit or the presence of God depending on what you think about what is beyond your mind's ability to comprehend or understand because it's not in your mind, because your mind is of ego, and that means not God. Like I use the word God to describe the infinite and unlimited. You might call it something else if you live in a different culture or area of the world. Ego is not of God, it means not God, And if you're coming from ego, then you're disconnected from life. You could also say you're connected with life, and that's what step two is, because life is the, I like to think of life as being the absolute mirror reflecting back to you where you are and how well you're doing, living the game of life. So, and this is where you're connected with your intuition, your inner knowing, you could call it gut feeling or the sixth sense. And you're always, if you're connected with life, okay, let's talk more about prana and what that is. Because every breath you take, you are breathing in God. That's how I perceive it and receive it. And you could also think of it as you're breathing in life or abundance or love, or you're just connected in the currency of life. You're surrounding with it, you're surrounded by it every moment. It's like a fish doesn't know it's in water until it's taken out of the water, or like a dolphin jumps out of the water, and that's just for fun or play, or to get, well, dolphins breathe, I think, the air instead of the water. And yet, I mean, most fish don't go out of the water, but if they're like brought up on the shore by a wave and then they're kind of like struggling. It's like, "Oh, I can't breathe now." That's kind of like you're surrounded by prana every moment of your life, or you're surrounded by God every moment of your life, or you're swimming in oceans of abundance every moment of your life, and it's just a matter of how much of that are you willing to receive. That's the big question. Like I like to say, your work is opening 100% to receiving God. And you could say, what does that mean practically? It means receiving love. And what does that mean practically? It means being of greater service and knowing that you deserve everything that you want, because that seed for that desire of what is your life mission, purpose, focus that was given to you by the infinite, unlimited, which I call God myself. So your work is opening fully to receiving God at the level of 100%, and your purpose is extending God 100% in the world, because you are God's instrument for miracles in the world. After all, you are God's gift to the world. So be it. So, and that requires you knowing that you deserve everything that you want, because that's how God is able to work in your life to bless the world. You are here to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate every one of your online friends. For example, by leading them into this Operation Greatness Action Pod number 64, the 3 steps to winning the game of life. So, how connected are you with life? Or are you disconnected with life and you're quote unquote connected? It's actually disconnected because there's no connection in the virtual world or with the dumbing device. All of that is false. It's disconnected from life. So, how connected are you with life instead of the dumbing device? Or even AI takes that disconnection to an exponential level, and it's even outsourcing one's thinking. It's like turning off the brain and just acting on autopilot. And that's not the way that you reach any destination. That's kind of like the missile just crashing and burning and missing its target because it's removing the fuel. The fuel is God, or is the currency of life, or is prana, vital life force. So anytime that you're not connected with life, well, get out in nature, close the dumbing device, turn it off, stop being addicted to that, or stop giving that your power, because that's just feeding your disconnection and unfulfillment. Instead, if you can go out in nature and be around trees or animals or water, and just, I mean, this is why I hike every day, because it just feels so great. It's enlivening, it's enriching, it's rejuvenating, recharging, revitalizing. So get out in nature and just be present, or get, like, feel the sun on your face and on your arms, and just like that's how you're receiving God. That's how you're recharging the battery, which is your storehouse, the spark of divinity. You're reigniting that within you, even right here. And even if you just close your eyes and just take a deep breath and breathe back into being, breathe back, breathe back, breathe back into being. I breathe in love, or I breathe in God, and I breathe out abundance, prosperity, service, meaning, well-being, fulfillment. I breathe in God. I breathe out love. That's how you reconnect with life. And like I said, there's never a moment where you were ever disconnected from God or from the currency of life. So it's just a matter of reconnecting with that. And then the next step will be presented to you. You will know the direction you are here to take. You will know what to stop doing that was hurting you or disconnecting you. So it's trusting, allowing, surrendering, letting go, letting God. That's step two, and it's very, very important. And step three, the last step of our three steps to winning the game of life, is to go the distance. You're in it to win it, and you're not letting anything stop you. So you're going all the way. And yes, you might have gotten distracted, you might have been off course, and it's just a matter of getting back on course, getting back on the horse, getting back on track, and staying hyper vigilant about where you are giving your attention because that's where you're giving your power and that's how you're creating your life and how we are creating our world. So you're removing the obstacles, the obstructions, the non-supportive people or environments, you're staying away from that, like the dumbing device. Is that an agent of connection or is that disconnection? And so anytime that you're scrolling on the dumbing device, is that taking you close, moving you closer to your goals or taking you further away from them? I mean, these are obvious answers, I realize, and yet you're honoring your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. So you're vigilant about protecting your power through where you are giving your focus because nothing matters more than that, and that's required for you to reach your destination, your destiny, to fulfill your purpose, to live your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma, because nothing matters more than that. So anytime that you're spending 2 hours scrolling on your dumbing device, well, that's 2 hours that you're not in flight in your missile reaching your target that you have locked and loaded. And this is about the commitment that you have to go the distance and not letting anything take you out of the game of life because you are a winner and everything that you do, you win because you're focusing your power, you're concentrating your power. So, what does that mean? That means purifying the sacred temple of the body, the vehicle, and the mind and the spirit, purifying all of them, not giving in to the distraction, not taking in the poisons, the toxins around you. I mean, that means eating healthy food, organic food, and no longer polluting the sacred temple, such as with sugar, soda. I mean, this is the Operation Greatness Freeing the Matrix Parasite Cleansed Focused Wealth Immersion Action Pod number 64. The three steps to winning the game of life. When you're ready to go the distance, let's go. Because Parasite Cleansed, I think it's required now of everyone that we all become Parasite Cleansed. That means removing the toxic programming in our systems. All of this is part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, by the way, and also leading your own Operation Greatness chapter in your local community because you're here to be of greater service to more people. That is your destination. And how you are doing that, that's specific to you. I recognize that. And yet we're going the distance together. This is our 90-day freedom challenge that's part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So being in the supportive environment where you have the accountability and you have the mastermind alliance of every one of us working as much as we can to help you live your fulfillment. That's and we're keeping you on track. If you have any questions, if you have an off day, if you get upset by something like a toxic element in the program, like when you get close to fulfilling your goal, then you sabotage that. I mean, all of that is part of the program. That's why we're freeing the matrix. And anyway, all of this is there for you in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So the key is to go the distance. You're not letting anything interfere with you or take you out of the game. That's those are the three steps there. Knowing where you're going and that you deserve to reach that destination, and then connecting with life, with God, that you're not allowing anything other than the currency of life to lead you along. That's kind of like, the airplane has the wind to keep it uplifted and make sure that you're flying high enough to get above the storms or the old stuff, the people that are trying to hold you down or pull you back or keep you stuck or keep you distracted and disconnected. And three, the third step, the final step of our three steps to winning the game of life is going the distance, going all in, and ruthlessly protecting your energy, your focus, your way, because you're committed and you're not letting anything take you out of the game, because this is why you're here in the game, is to live this fulfillment. So not letting anything stop you or get in your way or slow you down. You're ruthlessly protecting your focus and your momentum, because that means everything, because you're locked and loaded and nothing can stop you or step in or sabotage you or block you or limit you in any way. Because this is why you're here. This is why you are in this body, is because you are here to win this game. And that's unique to you. And yet we're all here supporting each other through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. And yes, it is a game and you are here to win it. And there's enough for every one of us to win our respective games. And we're all here to help each other, because part of being in the currency of life, step two, is that we're coming from love, abundance, generosity, giving, being of greater service. So you see how well all of this fits together as a whole, complete paradigm? And where are you on this path? How close are you to winning the game, to reaching your destination, to achieving it? I mean, celebrate and acknowledge, like, not give yourself a pat on the back, acknowledge your victories and each success that you're having, because that's encouraging even more success. That's helping you go the distance, step three. And we're all serving and supporting each other in this winning of the game of life through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So, how much are you off track now? Well, get back in track. Just breathe back into being, reconnect with God, your focus, your purpose, your why. Know why you're doing this, why you are going the distance. That's also part of step three. And share your progress each step of the way. And would 90 days of doing the Freedom Challenge through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind help you, where we're all working with you and sharing what our wins are and giving you the posts you make to as you are leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating every one of your online friends? Of course it would. So become the example of how much more is possible for every one of us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. What are your thoughts about all this? Where are you in this game of life? And how close are you to winning it? And what was standing in your way, and now you're no longer allowing that to interfere, block you, sabotage you, slow you down, limit you in any way, right? So reaffirm that and acknowledge that. Answer all these questions as separate posts and use your invite people link that you got when you joined us in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind. It's in the About tab. Use that link, your invite people link, in all the posts that you're making here, and then take all the posts that you're sending sharing with all of your online friends as you're leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating them, doing a little more today and being of greater service to every one of them. Take all those posts that you're making, answer all these questions that I'm inviting you to recognize, and this is your commitment to winning the game of life, so it matters more than anything else. Take all the answers and all the posts, which are your answers as well, take them and put them into the essay that you're sending me personally at dan@danclatt.com, and then, of course, post that as well in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. I love you. I believe in you. I know how much you matter because, after all, you are God's gift to the world, and living that as God's gift, living your life, that's part of how you're reconnected with God and going the distance in being of greater service. The whole human race, our whole human family, is liberated because of you doing this with us in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind. And this is the greatest thing every one of us has ever done. And this happened because of you doing this yourself and doing this with and for everyone connected with you. So I know how much you matter. I believe in you, and I know that you are destined to be the great leader you were born to be. So be it. Thank you. Thank you very much.